Hi, my name is Katie Rago, and the person that I am interviewing is Lisa Powell. Lisa is the customer operations representative for Johnson Controls on Meridian Road in Youngstown. Lisa, can you please give us a background about Johnson Controls, please?
Sure can. Johnson Controls is a global company and we do heating and cooling, so HVAC. We just acquired a security company and we do security and fire alarms as well. So we deal with small projects to large projects. We don't do anything residential, it's strictly commercial. So we deal with very big units that require a crane to put on a rooftop, or we use smaller units depending upon the needs of the customer. But we go from anywhere from my area consists of all of Northeast Ohio, parts of Pennsylvania, up to Erie. I have two different branches, so I deal with two different states, even up into New York City, or New York State, I should say. But it's a global company, so we deal with people from all across the world, and it's quite interesting.
What countries do you deal with the most besides the U.S.?
Primarily, we deal with Mexico. We get a lot of our products out of Mexico, a lot of our units. We deal with people in Europe. They do a lot of our financing and different collections and stuff like that. We have different office personnel that we deal with there. Our main branch, or our main corporate office, I should say, is in Ireland. So we deal with people from there too. So
Will there ever be like a time that you'll have to go out to the one in Ireland?
I wish I would like to do that. That would be so cool.
Nice little trip.
Yeah.
And then you talked about how you guys just got security.
Yeah, we just bought Tyco and Simplex Grinnell, and they are a security slash fire alarm company. And so we acquired them, and so now we're dealing like with all the security businesses, all the fire alarms. We go and put them in the area hospitals. We do like when you go into a hospital and the key fob, people have the little fobs that they go into for security. We do all of those. We designed all of those, and that makes it interesting too, so that we're more diversified that way. So it opens up a lot more jobs for us.
Was it like difficult to transition into security too, or
No, because we splashed into that a little bit, but by acquiring them, we have those people that know that business. So they're kind of teaching me, who doesn't know that business so well, they're teaching us how to deal with situations on it. So that's kind of fun.
Question for you, Lisa, is how did you get this position?
I am a member of LinkedIn, and I got my interview through LinkedIn, and that's it.
Do you feel like LinkedIn really helped you to get this position?
Yes, extremely. And they still contact me on different jobs that are still available at different companies, but I like where I'm at, so I kind of ignore them. But LinkedIn is a very good resource. Highly recommend
we
it.
have to use it at school. And what is your favorite part about your job?
My favorite part of the job is dealing with customers on a daily basis, and then I have a staff of project managers that I like to deal with too. So working with them, like, every day is different, and just seeing what their needs are and how to address my customers' needs and make sure everything is fulfilled on the specific jobs that we do.
Do you deal with a lot of customers every day?
Every day, yes. And some of them are very large customers that, we have millions of dollars dealt with them, and you have to establish credibility over the phone because you don't meet them, you don't see them face to face. So dealing with them is kind of a different process because you have to establish that over the phone.
What's your least favorite part of your job?
Least favorite job is collecting the money from my customers. I also have to make sure that they pay their bills, and that isn't always a fun thing to do when you're dealing with money. Also, I don't like, at the end of the month, everything is crunch time for the end of the month, and the stress is a little crazy. But it's also kind of fun too, because it's different all the time. Every month's different too.
What do you have to do if people don't pay their bills?
I call them, and we have a collections department that deals with them, but I try to avoid that because I don't want to anger them in any way. So it's just, again, using that telephone voice and becoming familiar with them and the way that they deal with things on their timeline. I try to make sure that I know what they're doing. So it's a constant communications, and you have to have that communication in order to build up your rapport with them.
So the questions I've asked you so far, it seems like you have a lot of responsibilities. What would you suggest to someone new in your company?
Someone new in a company would have to be a great multitasker because you can't just stick to doing one job and then try to complete that task because the phone's ringing, people are at your desk, your boss needs this, some of your guys that are out in the field need that. So you have to be able to be multi-talented, multitasking, and have that flexibility within your guidelines on a day. So.
So, what are the type of jobs where you work?
So we are a service industry, and we do heating and cooling, and we're global. So we have various positions, but the ones I deal with are a lot of union jobs, pipe fitters, electrical, plumbers, that kind of thing. I deal with a lot of IT. My project managers are pretty much proficient on the computer because once the units are installed, everything's programmable through the computer, and makes it for easy for the customer and all that. So, and then we have like salespeople that sell the jobs, and there's other various pieces to that, but that's the main ones that I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
So, what type of challenges do you face at work?
Challenges is getting things done on time, making sure equipment is arriving on time for the job, making sure the subcontractors that we hire are on site within a specific timeline. It's all a matter of ensuring that you have that time window and you get things done. You have a start date and an end date, and you've got to please the customer.
Okay, and then where do you see your field changing in 10 years?
So we do deal a lot with the IT and the computer, and so with the technical challenges and the advances, that's where my job would advance along with that, because we deal, everything's based on the computer and how small a thermostat would be or how small an air unit would be. That's changing every year.
So you have to have really good computer skills in your job field.
I did not when I started there, and you learn it, and once you learn it, it's easy. And I didn't take I'm not young like you are, so I didn't take up the Excel classes and stuff. I kind of learned a lot of that on my own. But once you do it, it's easy, and you do have to have the computer skills, but don't be afraid of that.
And then what do you do on a typical day at work?
Typical day at work is I go in, check my emails, make sure there's no issues. If there's any issues amongst my customers, my guys out in the field, you have to address them right away. Booking my jobs, making sure all the contracts are completed. I deal with a lot of legal contracts and legal documents, make sure they're notarized, fulfilled, sent where they gotta be. Every day's different.
So what does it mean to book jobs?
So my salespeople will sell a job. For instance, at Youngstown State University, we did their whole power plant. So salesperson sells that job, gives me all the paperwork, and so I take it from there, from booking the job to getting the person who's going to be assigned to be the manager of that job, to the subcontractors which start the job, and then till the final completion, whether everybody gets paid, we get paid, all the different waivers that need to be sent, warranty letters, all that stuff. That's what I do.
So there's really a lot that goes into that.
There is a lot of legal documents. I'm a notary public, so everything has to be notarized. Deal with a lot of different bond companies, which once something's over a specific amount of money, you got to have bonding. The unions, wages, prevailing wages. It's a lot involved, but you learn it all. It sounds overwhelming right now, but you learn it and you know it. So.
And then what would you say is unique about your job?
Unique is I work with a lot of men, so it's like I'm their mom. So they are very needy, and I do a lot of stuff with them in that way. But it's just a big global company, so there's a lot of different people we deal with, people from other countries that I talk to every day. Again, the communication skills are huge. You have to be able to talk to those people. Sometimes they don't quite understand what you're saying, what you're talking about, doing, whatever, but you just speak slowly with them and handle it. And it's kind of a challenge sometimes, but then you become friends with people from other countries. It's kind of cool too. So.
And then what kind of decisions do you need to make at your job?
A lot of monetary decisions, a lot of time decisions. That's the biggest thing. You got to understand different times of the month when specific pieces of equipment can come in, when they can't come in. timing of the subcontracting when with electrical, and every project's different, so you got to make sure you read the contract and you know what's going on, so that way you can prepare yourself for what's going to be in the life of the contract.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to let me interview you. Have a great